I think he need to enjoy what he's doing, and that's it. He need to calm down and start calling out people with other levels. I think he need to focus on what he's doing.
Canelo Álvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So
he didn't throw any punches until the third or fourth round or something. He was just kind of walking forward, and I don't know what he was doing. It was weird.
Regarding Jake Paul's victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Canelo Álvarez spoke out. Fans are still in shock over the fight's unexpected conclusion as comments from all across the combat sports community stream in. And all eyes are on one guy. Saul, when questioned about Jake Paul's victory against the son of Mexico's boxing icon, Canelo Álvarez, who is well known for his epic fights in the ring and his profound admiration for the Chavez lineage, responded quickly.
Paul going toe-to-toe with 39-year-old Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and it's another win for Jake Paul. He was greeted with boos post-fight after winning his 6th straight fight, calling out anyone and everyone requesting multiple title shots in a possible rematch with Tommy Fury. Jake claims he's just getting warmed up.
Chapter 1's done tonight. Now we're moving into Chapter 2, and I'm just getting warmed up in the sport. But people hold the Tommy Fury thing against me, but what now? I just beat a former world champion, and I'm coming to avenge that loss as well with Tommy.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
The Honda Center. In Anaheim, California hosted a 10-round cruiserweight main event on June 28, 2025. Between Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Paul controlled from the first bell, using crisp jabs and powerful body blows to control the distance. Up until the last rounds, 39-year-old Chavez Jr. started flat and only threw a few punches. The judges gave Paul victories of 99-91, 98-92, and 97-93, with Chavez Jr. winning just one round.
Yeah, no, I felt the crowd's energy, even though they were against me. I love it. I feed off of that. And I think it's funny when I'm landing, however many punches I land, 250 or 200, and he landed whatever, like 100, but they just scream every single time he lands a punch. But at the end, they were quiet. So that's how it goes always.
But that shows you the mental toughness of Jake Paul, to your question, right? For this young man to consistently go in, not in Puerto Rico, they love him in Puerto Rico, but to consistently go in around the U.S. and be treated like the underdog in that arena and not being supported the right way, and for him to persevere and to be cool, calm, collected, and composed and deliver is pretty amazing.
Statistically outpunched Chavez 140 times, compared to 61 times, primarily in the latter 3 rounds. While Chavez briefly survived rounds 9 and 10, the harm was already done. Although Chavez Jr.'s lackluster performance created major concerns about his future in the sport, Paul's victory moved him closer to a cruiserweight world ranking.
Official weight for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., 198.4 pounds. Official weight for Jake Paul, 199.4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, live right here from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, we see the return of the former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and the return of the problem child, El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul, live on DAZN pay-per-view tomorrow night.
Given me the ability. God has given me the strength. God is good. And the problem child's a real fucking dog. Oh, 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 oh. I'm knocking him the fuck out, Chris. Let's go, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Following Chavez Jr.'s lopsided defeat, professional fighters like Emiliano Vargas were unable to conceal their admiration for Jake Paul's performance. "Paul looked fantastic tonight and managed the pressure well," Vargas said, praising his poise and agility. He acknowledged that Jake's work rate was exceptional and pointed out that Chavez Jr. had trouble with timing and tempo. He underlined that Chavez was unable to adjust, and that boxers entering the ring with Paul required a well-thought-out strategy. Vargas focused on Paul's development and Chavez's incapacity to assert himself, avoiding harsh criticism. Came to the conclusion that Paul's development was demonstrated in this bout, and that Chavez Jr.'s strategy was unable to contend with the former. YouTuber who had become pro full 8
He's not accepted. He's a YouTuber. People know that. But you gotta respect it, man. The only thing you do is respect it. But,
he's in there with Canelo, these guys. And
that's it, man. You gotta respect it.
Easy work.
Couple of shots at the end. Any of them hurt you? I just think Chavez didn't get started. That's the only thing. I mean, you can't win.
I want to be world champion. Zerto looks slow as shit tonight.
You can't win if you don't throw, you know, so it was kind of like the Ryan Garcia Rollies thing. You know, Rollies didn't, I mean, Ryan really didn't get started, so, you know.
What do you think about how Jake looked and fought?
You know what?
You're very tough.
If he sucked ass, he sucked ass, but he actually looks pretty good. There's people who walking in the gym, you can tell right away if they can box or not, so. He can box, he's selling out, you know, obviously this arena.
Jake Paul's readiness to take on top 15 or top 20 opponents was especially addressed by Emiliano Vargas, while many boxing pundits have examined Paul's development. According to others, Paul is beginning to face real resistance at the professional level. Eddie Hearn has said that although Paul would soon receive a WBC rating, there are still more skilled fighters ahead who deserve top 15 positions more. He made this claim when competing against other professional boxers, rather than MMA stars or entertainers.
I missed you, just I want to get your reaction to the fight.
Oh, great fight. You know, Julio's back after all he's been through, so, you know, I tip my hat off to him. It's not easy, you know, especially through, you know, what life throws at you sometimes, but, you know, it was a good fight.
What'd you make of how Jake Paul looked and fought?
He doing his thing. Jake Paul's looking good. Shout out to him. Yeah.
Do you think he's ready to like fight like maybe a top 15, top 20?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess where does Junior go from here in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he want, or he can have another, you know, fight like this. You know, fight a YouTuber or something.
Yeah. In terms of you, Rayo, when can we see you back in the ring?
I'll be back like in the fall, hopefully.
The fall?
Yeah.
Do you have an opponent in mind?
Nothing set in stone.
All right. Hey, just want to get your thoughts. The rematch between Lamont and Roach, how do you see it? Between Tank and Roach.
That's a good fight. 50-50 fight, like the first fight. I'm gonna go, you know, I don't know, whoever.
Finally, Canelo and Crawford, break it down.
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. It's hard to count Crawford out, man, because he's just a dog, and if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Crawford or Benavidez, you know. So, you know, Crawford, I don't know. I'm 50-50.
All right, Rayo, thank you.
Thank you.
Sugar Shane, after witnessing Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s clumsy performance against Jake Paul, Mosley didn't mince words. The former three-division world champion informed Chavez Jr. it was time to put up the gloves. It's calling his performance strange and devoid of combat instinct. It's difficult to justify continuing after such a one-sided outing in a career punctuated by legendary moments, Mosley said, pointing out that Chavez looked hesitant, out of rhythm, and unable to respond to Paul's pressure that this defeat may mark the end of his ring credibility. He urged Chavez to seriously consider retirement. Mosley believes that Chavez Jr. shouldn't pursue it any further since his defeat against a well-known fighter may indicate that the torch has really gone.
When and how, especially Junior fought?
Well, first of all, I think that Jake Paul fought a great fight. You know, he moved around the way he's supposed to, throwing great punches, and for the experience he had, he did fantastic. Junior, on the other hand, he didn't throw any punches until the third or fourth round or something. He was just kind of walking forward, and I don't know what what he was doing. It was weird. It was weird to see that type of fighting. But anywho, that's not Jake Paul's fault. So Jake Paul did what he needed to do, and he won, and he looked good.
Where do you think Junior goes from here, in your opinion, Shane?
Junior needs to retire from here.
Junior needs to retire.
He needs to retire. I mean, if you can't throw the punches in 2, 3, 4 rounds, you need to retire. I mean, if you can't, what are you doing? What are we doing? You just living up. Basically, you living off your father's name. That's basically what you do because you didn't even fight.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. performed against Jake Paul clearly displeased Jose. Rayo Valenzuela said that Chavez lacked strategy and desire in his reaction to Paul's demands, and that his energy was flat. Paul was honored by Valenzuela, seemed well-groomed, maintained a steady tempo, and prevented Chavez from settling into a pattern. Rio also provided a positive career update, stating that he is back to training full-time, feels stronger than ever, and plans to be back in the ring later this year.
Junior go from here, in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he want, or he can have another, fight like this. Fight a YouTuber or something.
Yeah. In terms of you, Rayo, when can we see you back in the ring?
I'll be back in the fall, hopefully.
The fall?
Yeah.
Do you have an opponent in mind?
Nothing set in stone.
All right. Hey, just want to get your thoughts. The rematch between Lamont and Roach, how do you see it? Tank and Roach.
That's a good fight. 50-50 fight, like the first fight. I'm going to go, I don't know, whoever.
Finally, Canelo and Crawford. Break it down.
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. It's hard to count Crawford out, man, because he's just a dog. And if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Crawford or Benavidez, Crawford, I don't know. I'm 50-50.
In the lead-up to the Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight, boxing, analyst Teddy Atlas shared a frank assessment of the matchup, while acknowledging Chavez Jr.'s past accomplishments. Including a world title, Atlas expressed doubts about his current condition. He emphasized Chavez Jr.'s inactivity, questionable discipline, and reliance on the legacy of his father, legendary boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Atlas noted that Chavez Jr.'s recent performances, including a competitive bout with Uriah Hall, showed flashes of ability but lacked consistency. He warned that if Chavez Jr. brings solid defense, Paul could be tested. Still, Atlas ultimately predicted a win for Paul, citing Chavez Jr.'s decline and Paul's steady improvement. Paul's going to beat him, Atlas concluded, signaling confidence in the YouTube-returned boxer's chances.
Paul's going to beat him. I think it'll go the distance. Paul doesn't pick guys, so he'll look stupid. Chavez, when he does throw the left hook, bud, if he leads with it a little bit, the best punch of Paul, besides the jab, is his right hand. He's got a pretty good right hand. And if he could time the left hook being a little wide in front of him, well, as I always say, straight beats round. The straight right hand could beat the left hook.
This is going to be the toughest fight of his career, the most embarrassing fight of his career. He's going to be exposed.
Julio, que te va a romper tu madre, güey. Más.
I don't think so.
My man thinks he's not going to beat him up.
How do you think this fight plays out?
I break him down, He's always the young man, the stronger guy in the ring. So for the first time, I want to put him back, make him work, extra work.